Well, Mr. Solomon Osadolor joins us now. He's a legal practitioner. Good morning, and thank you for coming on today.
Good morning.
Well, continuing to look at this matter, eventually the National Assembly have given their stamp of approval on this one. Remember, some time ago, they did talk about the fact that they thought it should have been transmitted to the National Assembly earlier than today. But from the look of things here, guess that doesn't matter anymore, does it?
It doesn't. It doesn't, because the position has been rectified. The National Assembly have rectified the position pursuant to the law. So anybody saying the declaration, is not proper, it's not right, is with respect making a very big fundamental mistake and error.
How?
How? Because the states, Yobe, Adamawa, and Bono, have been on fire.
No, they're talking about legal procedure, not that the action was wrong.
What is the procedure? Let's quickly go to the Constitution. This is the Constitution of this country, our respected nation. Section 305, subsection 1. What does it say? That the President may make proclamation after official gazettes. Subsection 2, the President shall immediately after the publication transmit copies of the official gazette of the government of the Federation containing proclamation, including details of the emergency to the President of the Senate and the Speaker of the House of Representatives, each of whom shall forthwith convene a meeting of House of which he, the President or Speaker, as the case may be, to consider the situation and decide whether or not to pass a resolution approving the proclamation. Go further to subsection 3. The President shall have powers to issue a proclamation of a state of emergency only when, 1, the Federation is at war. Some persons are saying the Federation is not at war. 2, the Federation is in imminent danger of invasion or involvement in a state of war.
Who said the station is... I didn't get that last part.
Okay, I was reading yesterday with respect to Chief Michael Zakume, SAN. He's saying that the President has erred by not following procedure to the state of for the proclamation of the state of emergency. Go further. What did the other actor SAN say? Go to subsection 3, paragraph C. Where there is actual breakdown of public order and public safety in the Federation or any part thereof, is Yobe, Adamawa, Bono not part of the Federation? To the extent that extraordinary measures is required to instill peace and security. The Constitution says extraordinary measures. So what is the noise about not following procedure? When His Excellency Mr. President has said, okay, for the purposes of peace in Nigeria, for going to 2 years now, there is no peace in the northern part. Nobody can travel to the northern part. The National Youth Service Corps was even shaking for the northern part.
I think you're taking two things at once, because yes, in that same breath,
yes,
I'm not sure they said it was not right to have gone ahead with the declaration.
Okay.
Because if you talk about them saying procedure,
yes,
legal procedure, aren't they two different things?
What is the procedure?
Because some will ask, I mean,
yes,
couldn't this have been transmitted to the National Assembly earlier than it did?
That is not the issue. The President has power. He said, subject to the provisions of the Constitution.
Why is it not the issue?
It is not the issue because the situation has deteriorated from the state of calm to a state of anarchy.
So there's no procedure in declaring the state of emergency?
No, that is not. We are not getting it. The President, in his wisdom and powers, if you look at the omnibus provisions of the miscellaneous provisions, which cover section 305, subsection 1 to subsection 6, the President under subsection 3 has powers to issue such a proclamation. So if he has the powers to issue such a proclamation, what are you saying? Are you saying he should not issue it? If we are so technical, so unnecessarily technical, so tied to rigid rules, the country will not move forward.
But no, they were talking about that. Sorry, Nyoto. They were talking about the Gazette you talked about, yes, there. And some were saying that, well, that should have gone, after the declaration, that, yes, should have gone immediately to the National Assembly.
Yes.
But what we saw yesterday was it means that it finally got to the National Assembly after almost a week. So I'm sure, because I try to read the argument of Michael Zekome, senior advocate, in the dailies.
Yes, I read it as well.
Yes, and I'm sure that was what he meant in his argument.
Yes, see, let's not be too rigid. Let's not be too rigid about procedure. Even the court of law, when you're too technical about procedure, you lose the substance. That is what I'm saying.
What is the rigidity in following procedure?
The rigidity is the strict adherence to procedures. Like you have said, like you read, like I read, like everybody read. If the National Assembly have upturned the proclamation, then you could say, okay, this is a case of ratification. They have ratified it out of 109 people. All the Senate, it was a unanimous decision to save this country.
Is that the issue?
That is the issue behind the state of emergency. What else is the issue?
Yeah, but
is there a particular motive to the issue?
From what you highlighted, are two different things.
What is the issue? Let me hear you. Please tell me what is the issue.
For the second time, I thought you heard what he just read. About.
He just said the procedure. What is the procedure of official gazette? By giving notice. And after such notice, the Senate and the House will convene a meeting. And the President, for 2 years, people, are you not aware that this matter is overdue, ripe? That is the issue. So why are you personally attacking? The law says, procedure, gazette, follow.
But you're a lawyer, and they said this is what we should look at.
Yes.
Law, and if they haven't done it according to the letters of the Constitution, that is where some of your own colleagues are faulting the whole process.
They, with respect, they should look very wisely. Even the law, when there's a conflict between law and equity, equity will overrule the law. This is equity.
Now, the question is...
Yes.
Now, this is, going by the procedure, he had to do a proclamation and then immediately, as you read, for the Gazette.
Subsection 2.
So, saying that the President has the powers to move troops to that region, did he have to do the proclamation? Couldn't he have just given the instruction, as some have said, what he just did was, he just exercised his powers? Couldn't the President have just exercised his powers and then published the Gazette? Why do the proclamation and after about a week, probably, the Senate now gets the Gazette?
Why are we personally attached? Why are we so attached to subsection 1 and 2 by saying official gazette? Follow official gazette. After that, transmit to the National Assembly.
Can I ask
why? Why? Tell me why.
Can I ask a question?
Please go ahead.
Why do we have procedures?
Procedures are guidelines
to
actualizing the subject matter.
So that what happens?
So that the subject matter will be actualized.
So that there will be no chaos.
So that the subject matter will be actualized.
So that
whether it is chaos, whether it is not chaos, there are procedures. But bear in mind, my friends, procedures are good. Procedures, with respect sometimes, may not be very good. The court of law, equity, what is equity? Fairness. That is the spelling of equity.
In what circumstance can procedure not be very good?
Where it will occasion injustice. Where it will bring about a complete breakdown of law and order. Then the strict adherence to procedure becomes questionable.
So
and Mr. President, in his wisdom, have cited, have looked, have been patient. The country is under fire in the northern part of this nation. There is no peace.
Okay, let me ask you.
And you know it. Since going for 2 years.
How do we, because yesterday he did something that, a whole lot of people still haven't been able to put reason and meaning into by the release of some people that were in custody concerning the investigations that the police and the SSS and so many others have been carrying out. How do you marry this with the amnesty going on in that region? Is this an indication that, while those released is as a result of the amnesty offered to those that would come forward and say, we're no more part of Boko Haram?
The issue of amnesty. The issue of amnesty. The issue of amnesty is not welcomed. It's not acceptable. What is amnesty? To pardon a particular group of people for a political offense. contained in what do you call it, pardon stricto sensu. But now in this context, why amnesty? There's a conflict. Why amnesty? Boko Haram, do they want amnesty? They have said we are the ones to give the government amnesty. They don't even want amnesty. I tell you, my friends, I tell you, my dear country, the solution is not in amnesty. The solution to the unrest, to the problems in the northern part of our dear nation,
Okay, now that
it's not in amnesty.